There was once a time in the automotive world where sedans such as the Mercedes Benz C-Class, Audi A4, and BMW 3 Series were seen as the gateway to German engineering and premium luxury. But there was always incentives to upgrade to the E-Class, A6, and 5 Series due to the build quality, luxury and tech features, and better overall performance. Today, cars like the C-Class have received so much development throughout the years that you can get an S-Class-like experience for a fraction of the cost, while at the same time owning a sedan that feels very well balanced, upscale, and is a joy to drive. With rivals trending in the same direction, is the 5th generation C-Class now the segment leader and worth a closer look? Well, here are 5 reasons why you should buy a 2022 Mercedes Benz C-Class. As the old saying goes, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. And for Mercedes-Benz, the C-Class has been a bestseller for the brand sedan lineup for many years. With last generation being a resounding success, it only seemed right that the 2022 model year would receive minor updates to the exterior design rather than a complete overhaul. Now being underpinned by the 2nd generation for the MR8 platform, styling does resemble the all-new S-Class, specifically for the taillight design, which now flows horizontally to share a similar appearance to the rest of the sedan family. Up front, the C-Class will have a distinct appearance, with the reshaping of the LED headlights, and also a minor alteration to the front grille. Instead of merely being a carbon copy of the E and S classes, the new C-Class's front fascia takes on a bolder, more youthful appearance compared to the outgoing model. And despite no significant difference in exterior dimensions, the C300 looks slightly wider and lower thanks to the resculpting of the front bumper to give the sedan both a sporty and luxurious presence. While at first glance, some may claim that Mercedes-Benz hasn't done enough to really differentiate the 5th generation from its predecessor, it wasn't necessary to make wholesale changes. And in fact, the minimal cosmetic work for the 2022 model perfects a design that's aged rather gracefully to give this luxury sports sedan a reserved yet upscale personality. In the highly contested luxury sports sedan market, cars like the Audi A4, BMW 330i, and Alfa Romeo Giulia all have base powertrains and transmissions that provide drivers with an adequate amount of performance and smooth gear shifting to make the overall driving experience pleasant but also engaging. The Mercedes-Benz C-Class has always steered more towards the luxury side of the spectrum, where the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is peppy, but the 9-speed automatic certainly wasn't the best pairing compared to the ZF 8-speed found in rivals, and that was a point of emphasis for the 2022 model year. Supplementing the 255 horsepower and 295 pound-feet of torque from this Turbo 4, Mercedes dropped in a 48-volt mild hybrid system to not only aid in efficiency, but to add a temporary boost during accelerations, where it can produce up to an additional 20 horsepower and 148 pound-feet of torque. The 9-speed automatic was also retooled to shift smoother, which together creates a comfortable and relaxing driving experience where you'll receive a high level of refinement that you expect from this brand. Mercedes-Benz rates the 0 to 60 time at around 6 seconds, but you don't need to hear from journalists to realize that the C-Class is quicker off the line, as this sedan is very responsive during accelerations. Compared to the BMW 330i and Audi A4, the C300 feels in line with its closest rivals. However, and this is not a surprise to us, the C-Class won't have the dynamic handling and agility that we see from the Alfa Romeo Giulia or even the Lexus IS350, but that has never been Mercedes-Benz's MO for non-AMG products. The lasting impression and the exclamation point that capped off our time with the C-Class was the opulent interior that continued to surprise us the longer we interacted and experienced the cabin of this sedan. Competitors in this market will usually have a trimmed down and slightly cheaper looking dashboard layout compared to the larger offerings from the brand's lineup. But Mercedes-Benz held back no punches for 2022, as you're immediately immersed into an atmosphere that's unlike anything we've come across. It's not just the new technology, but also the manner in which everything flows seamlessly together, taking elements from the last generation and going the extra mile to offer drivers and passengers a premium experience. You'll immediately recognize the full digital gauge cluster, which receives some minor updates, improving the resolution and quality, while also cleaning up the menus to simplify this display. You can also fully customize what you see to showcase relevant information, including the navigation map. From here, you can also adjust the head-up display to your liking, and much like all the other tech found inside, it's easy to read and individualize. The new 12-inch touchscreen, however, is the main talking point, as it's no longer conjoined with a digital display. By cleaning up the center console, there's no touchpad anymore, and quite honestly, it wasn't missed, as Mercedes-Benz focused on the user experience to make everything as simple to use as possible. From here, you can access vehicle settings and even adjust the seat positioning for the driver's side automatically by plugging in your height. When behind the wheel, the C-Class's interior mimics a fighter jet-like cockpit, but at the same time is so classy and upscale that you'll easily forget that it's a C300 and not an E-Class. Everyone in 2022 gets caught up in the technology, to a point where we all forget that plushness and quality are still important ingredients for a well-rounded luxury sedan. Our model was equipped with the MBTEX leatherette upholstery, and in conjunction with the slightly redesigned seats, the comfort, support, and bolstering are definitely an upgrade over the outgoing model. For C-Classes with the AMG line package, the dashboard will also have MBTEX material to amplify the opulence of the interior. With the optional wood grain trim accents, the C-Class has an aura that rivals haven't yet replicated. But while you're still mesmerized by what you see in front of you, Mercedes didn't forget about the on-road demeanor. While some journalists have been quick to point out the ride quality, as the suspension can take some bumps harshly, we'd recommend not opting for the Sport Tune suspension, as our C-Class didn't feel any different going over imperfections in the road than the A4 or BMW 3 Series. Despite the lighter steering, the C-Class does have a lower center of gravity, where you do have a sense of being connected to the road, and within the context of being a luxury sedan, it fills its role exceptionally well, and doesn't try doing too much like rivals who suffer from an identity crisis trying to be both sporty and upscale. Ever since the C-Class transitioned to the same platform that underpins the S-Class, this luxury sedan has undergone substantial transformations throughout the last two generations, not only when it pertains to the interior designs, but also the driving dynamics. For 2022, Mercedes-Benz turned the dial up a few notches, both outwardly and for the cabin, as now the exterior cosmetic styling cues follow the same path as its much larger sibling, but also the technology that's trickled down to the C-Class sets the tone for this segment moving forward. This sedan no longer feels like an entry-level luxury car, and in fact, it resembles vehicles priced well above $60,000, thanks to the premium driving environment, classy road presence, and refined performance. While the C-Class may not have the most aggressive handling capabilities and does lack a bit when it comes to being sporty, Mercedes-Benz doubled down on luxury to give buyers a car that's without question worth the price of admission. We hope you enjoyed this quick buyer's guide for the 2022 Mercedes-Benz C-Class. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And if you're interested in buying a C-Class or any other luxury sports sedan, make sure to check out our full reviews to help you find your next vehicle. And thanks for watching.